and welcome back to Morning Shot. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, let's actually just consider a couple things. The first is, fact checkers love to fact check us. So yesterday we did a video basically about the Miss South African contest, and I will admit I did say during that video that the individual was crowned Miss South Africa. And no, they weren't. They were one of the top contestants, they were one of the top 11. That actually really didn't make much of a difference to the point of the video. The point of the video is, what is a South African? Is it an individual who was born in South Africa regardless of race? The principle was that many had said that she shouldn't be judged for the sins of her parents, which could equally apply to the majority of white people, specifically in relation to apartheid. That was principally the point of the story. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's just be very clear. We do make mistakes in Morning Shot. We repeat what we see in the news. We have to do that because otherwise we get allegations of misinformation, which individuals love to say. It's the new buzzword. Everybody wants to somehow show they're smarter than us or smarter than others by proving that somehow they knew information that we didn't. We made it very clear during the course of that story. The identity theft that has occurred, where she was born, what the circumstances around it are unknown by all parties. If fraud has occurred in this instant, nobody knows what the true situation of that is. And it hasn't become apparent yet. They are still investigating. So, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of us just saying this is, yes, we do make mistakes, and let us not forget that there is the comment section below. Every person who watches our videos can peer review everything we say in the comment section below. And so, once again, we would encourage you, please use the comment section below and add your voice to the conversation, which brings us on to the stories of the day. So before we actually start the stories of the day, let's have some laughs. That very famous breakdancing competition, which now occurred with Australia's champion, which got 0 points. Here's the clip.
Okay guys, an important part about being a performer is being able to express yourself through movement, being able to move your body to convey a message, to get something across.
Now, in typical fashion, these individuals inserted themselves into the competition, made themselves internationally renowned, and then when they were criticized, claimed victimization. This is straight out of the usual playbook we've seen everywhere. Talking of fake news and victimization, Elon Musk welcomed Donald Trump back to Twitter. And during the course of that interview, they experienced what they described as a cyber attack. Now, some of the actual news around this, to be clear, is uncertain, but it appears that possibly the cyber attack came from inside of Twitter itself. Elon had to fire a bunch of people who didn't actually want Donald Trump to appear on the platform. But more interesting was the actual European Union trying to stop Elon Musk from being able to televise or being able to host Donald Trump on his platform. And one has to ask the question, is this the European Union attempting to influence or manipulate a US election? Because apparently when Russia does it, that's really bad. On to more interesting news, and the main news of today's story is actually around the economic prospects of South Africa as a whole. So very interestingly enough, Ronald Lamola came out today and basically said that South Africa will now be aligning their foreign policy with their economic interests. Very interesting because in the past they've aligned their economic interests with their, let's call them anti-apartheid allies, being China and Russia and Cuba. But now they're saying they're going to realign their policy positions with their economic interests, which mean the European Union and the United States. So why that becomes really interesting is that there is some news that apparently we are going to get some new companies coming to South Africa. One of them is Pret a Manger from London. That's that sandwich chain that if you've ever been to London, you've seen it. And the other one is JD Sports. So maybe we'll give our own version of Chavs. Who knows? Interestingly enough, the ANC obviously has run out of money, so they can't actually do any infrastructure developments, and their big plan was prescribed assets. The FSCA has now come out and basically said the ANC can't do that because it would be influencing the funds, it would cause problems with the funds, and they consider that to be not very good. This all in the same day that apparently the unemployment rates has gone up in some sectors, but interestingly enough, you have to drill down into the actual numbers, and you'll notice that the informal sector, the numbers there have gone up, which basically means that people are not really getting jobs in the formal sector, where they're actually getting jobs in the informal sector, possibly because they're without labor regulations. You don't have to pay them the usual minimum wage and so forth. But on the plus, South Africa's got 26 new mega projects coming our way, which includes a new airport and a city, according to Ramaphosa, giving me the vibes of all the way back when we got his first sonar around smart cities and all the other rubbish that goes with it. Very interesting when you actually look at the list. These are all basically around solar plants, around water treatment plants, and around other forms of public enterprise type expenditure to help improve infrastructure. So who knows, maybe the South African economy is on the mend. Actually very difficult to know. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with this video clip, which actually was done incredibly well, and it is around what it means to be a South African. This story really important given everything that's going on in the United Kingdom, because as you'll see in this clip here, South Africans themselves, when they go abroad, are not immune from still wanting to hold on to their culture and not embracing the culture of the countries that they go to. This even happens in Australia. Even the Australians, if you read the comments in this, they're getting fed up with even the South Africans going to Australia and failing to integrate with the Australian culture. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the video.
Another injury for South Africa. Little do the opposition know, they're not playing a team of 15, they're playing 60 million South Africans. More South Africans now steering the scrum. Full back in position and takes his eye off the ball. Desperately looking for a gap. The pointsman helps him out. Try time, South Africa. Mrs. Bullock bringing the gears. Those potholes will get you every single time. SA fielding the most intimidating front row. These aunties are Vus. A power play from the home side. Kanonfoot steps up. He strikes, and it's gone. It's gone! Unbelievable, unbelievable. Team South Africa, you biscuits.
Alles für uns Sportspion.